Why does a snail behave so differently from a piece of soap, although they both consist of similar atoms? How is it possible that a clump of cells in the skull can think? How is it possible that a species of apes is able to write poems and to build space stations? How did the matter get these exceptional skills? I will show you. My name is Steffen Münzberg. All my life I was interested in evolution, in biological evolution, cultural evolution, technological evolution. It was my hobby, and now it's my mission. I write books and give speeches about technological, cultural and biological evolution. And when I wanted to understand the cultural and technological evolution better, and when I wanted to increase and develop the meme theory of Richard Dawkins a little bit further, then I realized, I found that life, mind, culture and technology, they are all based on just two fundamental mechanisms. Life, mind, culture and technology are based on the interactions of copyable forms and selective actuators. It all started 4 billion years ago when life came into being. In every living cell there is DNA, desoxyribonucleic acid. And this molecule has an electric field of a specific shape, of a specific form. And the form, the shape of this field, of this molecule, of this DNA, the shape, the form determines whether the creature to be built becomes a snail or a snake. And the shape, the form of this molecule is copied with every cell division, again and again and again and again. I call such copyable shapes, such copyable forms, copy forms. The DNA is a copy form that determines the physical structure of the living beings. But to build a living being, a snail or a snake, that's the job of the enzymes. Enzymes are large molecules with an electric field, with a specific shape, with a specific form. And to this specific enzyme form, other molecules may attach, but not all molecules, only molecules with matching shape. And when two such molecules with matching shape are attached to an enzyme, the enzyme triggers catalytically a binding reaction. And this reaction creates a new, larger, more complex molecule. You see, the enzyme is a little bit choosy, a little bit selective about the shapes of the molecule that can attach. And the enzyme is a doer, an actuator. Enzymes trigger chemical reactions. So an enzyme is a choosy doer and selective actuator. I call such selective actuators Cili actuators. Cili actuators are powerful. Cili actuators are complexity converters. That's important. Cili actuators may reduce complexity. For example, in this case, we have a complex situation, millions of different molecule shapes out there, and the Cili actuator, the enzymes, can reduce this to a simple yes or no decision. Trigger the reaction or do not trigger the reaction. And Cili actuators can also increase the complexity. In case it's a yes or no decision is a yes, then the celiac actuators, like enzymes for example, perform something, do an action, and this action can increase complexity. For example, they produce a new molecule with more complexity. Now we come to the next topic. How do brains work? Brains consist of neurons. Neurons are large cells, electrically loaded cells, and the neurons get electrical impulses from those areas of the brain to which the neuron is connected, not from other areas of the brain. That's very important. And if just a few impulses come in, nothing happens. But if there a sufficient number of impulses come in, then the neuron reacts here and sends out just one single electrical impulse to other neurons. As I said, the neuron reacts only if certain brain areas are active. And these certain special brain areas to which the neuron is connected to, they have a spatial distribution. They have a form. And neurons are selective. They are actuators. They are choosy doers. They are sensitive about the input, and they are actors. The actuators, they send out an impulse. They are celiac actuators. And if many neurons work together, it functions in a similar way. This group of neurons got the task to recognize snails in all the pixels, in all the impulses that come from the eye. And if this neuron group recognizes the shape of a snail, then this neuron group sends out just one single impulse. Yes, snail recognized. And so you see, this neuron group is selective, choosy at the input side, and it's a doer sending out just one signal. It's a choosy doer, a selective actuator, a celiac actuator. Now a more complex topic. How does culture work? We know brains can learn. Brains learn by changing the neuronal shape. And what most animals learn, the animals cannot transfer it to other animals. When the animal dies, everything that animal has learned is gone. But with humans, it's different. Humans can transfer what they've learned or what they have imagined to other humans. Humans do not need to make any experience themselves. They can learn from other humans. They can even learn from humans that have been dead for a long time. How do humans do it? They have new copy forms, words and ideas. Words and therefore ideas have a specific shape, have a specific form. In the brain they have neuronal shapes. In the world outside of the brain, for example, as spoken word, they have a pressure wave shape. As written or printed word, they have an ink density field shape. And you see here, the words and ideas must change from forms inside the brain to forms outside of the brain, and from form outside of the brain to form inside of the brain. So jumping directly from brain to brain does not work. So, and who is responsible for all the form transformation? The celiac actuators. The neurons in the brain, they care for transforming the form, the shape of a spoken or written sentence, word, into a memory, a neuronal shape, and they transform an idea, a neuronal shape, into the form of a spoken or written sentence. But they cannot do just like this. They need many years of training, practicing neuronal shaping until the human can, at some point in time, speak properly and write and read correctly. Now we jump to technology. Very short. In technology, there are construction plans, blueprints in the brain, on paper, and on the hard drive. And these construction plans are copied and copied and copied. And there are product forms. And these product forms are copied and copied and copied. And there are technologies how to manufacture these things. And these technologies are copied and copied and copied. These are the copy forms of technology. And who cares for the transformation of a construction plan into a product form? And from a product form into a construction plan? This is done by the cell actuators. The cell actuators in the brain, the neurons, the cell actuators in the computer, the transistors and microchips, and the cell actuators in the production machines, relays, switches, and other things. I have here a spoon, a hand-carved spoon. Who did create this spoon? This spoon was created by copy forms and cell actuators. The first copy form, that were the genes in the tree, the genes in the cells of the tree. And the genes, the copy form gene, instructed the cell actuators enzymes of the tree to grow a tree out of wood. Now we have the wood. Next step, the copy form spoon plan is needed, and then the copy form, the technology how to carve. And then the two copy forms, construction plan and technology how to carve. These two copy forms are read and executed by the cell actuators in the brain, the neurons. And then we got a result, a spoon, a thing which is called, because of its shape, spoon. And we can say this product form spoon is part of the copy form group eating culture. Now, knowing this model, we can say now goodbye to some old traditional categories. In everyday language and even in philosophy, sometimes there is a distinction between nature and culture. But knowing this model, we can see that's not appropriate anymore. There is a better way to distinguish the world. I propose we should divide the world, we should divide the matter into the randomly shaped matter, arbitrary shaped matter, that's the matter, the unorganic matter, the cultureless matter, the technology-free matter on one side, and the matter that was shaped for purposes by copy forms and cell actuators. The matter full of life, mind, culture, and technology. And you know, there is still a big gap between the natural sciences and the cultural sciences, the humanities. And this big gap between these two sciences or areas of sciences causes a lot of problems. Because of this gap, we are not able yet to understand interdisciplinary things like artificial intelligence, sex, gender, patriarchy, and others, and have a lot discussions in ideological way. And to get this better, we need to close the gap between natural sciences and humanities. And if you want to contribute a little bit narrowing this gap, then try to apply this new model in your field of expertise. You will be amazed how your horizon will expand.